So CNN's headline, this would actually be hilarious if it weren't so desperate and so illustrative of what the radical left actually thinks of you and of me, which is scary. But CNN is comparing Meloni to Mussolini. Mussolini, Hitler's counterpart. So yeah, Donald Trump is actually Hitler. Meloni is actually Mussolini. This is what they said. Brothers of Italy leader Giorgia Meloni has claimed victory in a general election that seems set to install her as Italy's first female prime minister, leading the most far-right government since the fascist era of Benito Mussolini. They go, Meloni entered Italy's crowded political scene in 2006 and co-founded the Brothers of Italy in 2012, a party whose agenda is rooted in Euroscepticism and anti-immigration policies. A 45-year-old mother from Rome, Meloni is deeply conservative, openly anti-LGBT, and has threatened to place same-sex unions, which were legalized in Italy in 2016, under review. She has also called abortion a tragedy, raising fears for the future of women's rights in our country. So this woman is obviously not Mussolini. She's obviously not a fascist. She's a conservative politician. But what this shows us is, A, CNN is extremely frightened of conservatives and extremely frightened of voters who, as a referendum on the globalists who now control our countries, are rejecting that globalism and electing conservatives on a platform of social conservatism. That's the first thing. CNN is also telling us how they feel about us. What are the examples that they give that make her as far right as Benito Mussolini? That she is skeptical of the EU. She does not want open borders. She's conservative. I don't know what anti-LGBT means, but I do know that the left uses that as a euphemism if you, for example, don't want doctors and politicians to surgically remove the healthy breasts of teenage girls or chemically castrate little boys, and suddenly you are anti-LGBT. So that phrase in and of itself, it's lost all meaning. It means nothing to me, except the left doesn't want to describe that what she believes. They don't want to describe that she adheres to biology when it comes to the fact that there are two sexes, male and female, and no matter what drugs you use, no matter what surgery you use, you can't change that. You just damage bodies in the process. So she also called abortion a tragedy. So these are the things that make a politician in the eyes of CNN as bad as Benito Mussolini, Hitler's counterpart, which means this is what CNN and the left thinks of us. We knew this. Joe Biden articulated it. Good confirmation from CNN. It's funny, if Italy's first female prime minister had been a liberal, the headlines all across the world would be, oh, a woman, finally, first female, breaking the glass ceiling, unprecedented, history, yay, yay, yay. But they barely mention that she's going to be Italy's first female prime minister because any conservative woman, any Christian woman, any pro-family woman, they do not feel politically that you are a woman. They want to deny you your womanhood because every woman in their eyes must be pro-abortion. She must want to kill unborn children in the womb. She must be radically leftist. She must want socialism, or else you're not a real woman, not invited to the Women's March. Italy's first female prime minister. So the lesson here is first of all, this is how Republicans should win the midterm elections in the United States. Again, when I saw the number on that video on Twitter, and this is just one post of it. This isn't even all the rest of the people who have posted similar clips. One post got over 20 million views in less than 24 hours. This is mostly English-speaking people who watch this. It had English subtitles. It was made for an American audience. Why does this resonate with us? Why did this resonate with 20 million people so strongly that they passed it around to their family and friends and reposted this, and it caught fire, and other people passed it around? It's because Republicans want politicians like Giorgia Meloni here in the United States. We want politicians to be unafraid. We want politicians not to be squishes. We want scorched earth conservatives who look at the opposition and say, your leftist identity politics threatens our identity as children of God, threatens our identity as a family unit, threatens my identity as an individual. I don't want that. Voters here in the United States want politicians to have the courage to say Marxism is destructive. Your cultural Marxism threatens the institutions which protect the family and our country and us as individuals and our faith. They protect our identity as Americans and as Christians. This is how Republicans should win the midterm elections if they had the courage to be scorched earth conservatives and look voters in the eye and say, your family is at risk. The left threatens you and your family. your way of life, everything you hold dear, and here's why. We'd have the same results that we just saw in Italy.